A man who still has a contact high from the Sid Croft interview. Adam Carolla.
Yeah, get it on. Got to get it on. No choice but gonna mandate you get it on. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for telling a friend. Love that about you, right, Gina Grad?
That's right.
Handball, Brian. Right.
Wow. That is so cool.
Dawson, that was A+ excellent, man.
Thank you.
How do you do that? Do you write it all out the night before?
Come up with, all I gotta do, no, I start it, it takes about 3-4 days.
Mm-hmm.
I just start coming up with any new radio cliches you possibly can.
Black Angus.
I used to eat at Black Angus all the time, and I often like to use Olive Garden, but it just comes.
I was
to me.
I was a sizzler. We didn't get higher than sizzler.
Yeah, Black Angus is
Black
pretty
Angus
fancy.
was kind of
That's what they made it.
There was like sizzler, and then above it there was Black Angus
Right.
and Loves, and a few places like that.
Like Outback Steakhouse.
When you're in Loves, the whole world's delicious. Yeah, Loves.
Never heard of
Loves
it.
had a chain. They were kind of barbecuey, ribsy. There was one out here. Anyway, we stopped at Sizzler.
Okay.
Once in a blue moon, made the lateral move over to Shakey's.
Okay.
It was pretty much Shakey's and Sizzler.
The pizza, the chicken, the Mojo Shakies?
Yeah, when I started, there was a Shakey's in North Hollywood. I
They're
don't know if it's
still
still
there.
It's on Laurel
On Laurel
Canyon.
Canyon.
Well, stay on
Right
it long
about
enough.
Burbank.
You'll get to Chatsworth as long as you turn left and go for 11 miles.
Right.
But
It's
it
still
was
there.
right there. They had the player piano. They had the guys wearing the straw hats.
Mm-hmm.
And you would just order pizza back then and sit in these big banquet tables. They
Wait,
didn't have
did they do
booths or-
buffet style?
They didn't have the
That's later.
buffet. They didn't have the Mojos and the chicken,
Right.
and they were just a pizza place.
Like a
back
respectable
then.
pizza place? For the Corollas, I guess.
I mean, you got to picture North Hollywood, California in the 70s. You know, nobody.
thanks.
First off, you think my dad was longing for a good slice like he used to get in the city back in the day? Like, he didn't fucking know what anything was. That guy ate cottage cheese and raisins for dinner.
It's vile.
So he didn't know what a good slice was. Nobody knew what a good slice was. Shakey's did one thing. And I still like their pizza, though I haven't had it in a million years. They just did super thin crust. And if you go super thin, it can only be so bad. That's really what
Yeah.
There's a floor.
there's a floor.
It's the pizza crust.
Yes, they just go thin. Don't get the chewy 3/4 inch stuff. Just go thin. When in doubt, go thin, and there's a
And you'll
floor.
win.
It's
For
only
pizza
so
or
bad.
dating?
You'll win. Yeah.
You know what Dawson alluded to, is Black Angus even still in business? I proposed a week or so ago on Twitter, let's do Dead or Alive corporate edition.
Oh, I would like that.
Is Foster's
Like
Freeze still around?
Toys R Us?
Yeah.
Root beer, A&W
A&W.
root beer.
Oh, right.
You know, the
Foster's Freeze.
The
Yeah,
problem,
that's
that's
what
what
it
it
said.
said. The problem is, the problem is when you go, is Virgin Airlines still around? You go, no, they got bought up by
Right.
Alaskan Airlines or whatever. It's like, I imagine some of these places either got bought up by somebody, and that'll count, or are called something
Yes.
else in a different
Sure.
part of the country,
Or-
like Hardee's
the
or
one-
something.
It's a Foster's Freeze Kentucky Fried Chicken. Everybody knows that, or whatever it is.
The one that someone that brought that to my, sparked the idea, someone tweeted me, was like, Orange Julius, still around? I'm like, how would I fucking know that?
They're only
Turns
in
out
malls.
they're still here.
But there's no malls.
There's no,
So where could they be?
Orange Julius was,
never liked
malls,
those.
but great.
but there's plenty of examples like Orange Julius where they're still around.
Right.
Who
Who
knew?
knew?
The A&W was great. The Foster's Freeze, where you'd get the cone and dip it in the chocolate.
Right.
The soft swirl. Love's still up. Still up
Where?
and running,
We
by
gotta
the
do-
way.
we gotta do this.
We got to do it. All right. So now I've never been in, like I said, one. But like what happened is it's what happened with Outback Steakhouse, as I've said more than once, which is I was always dirt poor, and Sizzler was the ceiling, and then almost immediately became wealthy and never did the Outback and the
You
Loves and the
bypassed it.
intermediate
Yeah.
places. We went right over the top to
Right.
Ruth Chris.
You were the only person who had a champagne budget and beer tastes. Usually it's the other way around.
Yeah.
Champagne taste with a beer light beer budget.
I had tap water budget and beer taste.
I mean, once you made it.
Yeah.
And then once I made it, I did have champagne budget and champagne taste. That's why I never made it to Outback. I never went down. I skipped over it.
There was a whole part of the Love's menu we just saw called Bonanzas on a Bun, and one of them was called the Porker.
Bonanzas?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's good.
Which I'm
When you're in love, the whole world's delicious.
I mean, that's a
all
pretty
I would
good
do.
tagline.
Well, speaking of yesterday,
Still riding high.
I was, I thought Sid was great, and I was thinking about the interstitials on the banana splits and the Arabian Nights cartoon, but Danger Island. I love Danger Island. And I forgot a few things. Well, one I didn't forget. First off, Danger Island was a young Jan Michael Vincent.
No boy.
This was, I think, some of his first shit. Now, I don't know about the internet, Chris, but you're going to have to check your thoughts, too. Danger Island, 1986 to 1989.
Oh, sorry, that's a typo. 68 to 69.
All right. Because it makes a difference. This was also directed by Richard Donner.
No shit. Star-studded.
Superman Goonies,
director.
Lethal Weapon. He
a legend.
Popped his cherry directing Danger Island. It was... I don't know where they filmed it. They filmed it somewhere. I don't know.
They filmed it in Mexico.
Okay. I knew it was weird. It's through the eyes of an 8-year-old Adam Carolla, but I still knew that wasn't the backlot at Universal. Right. It looked weird. Some of it looked dubbed, and there was this character named Chongo who was like the crazy native.
Chongo means monkey.
Oh, yeah?
Spanish.
Yeah, he ran around the island.
Problematic.
And they would yell, uh-oh, Chongo! And he'd be like, ah! And he'd just run somewhere.
Was he only supposed to be partially human? Like, ah!
He's like Mango. He's like a man. Mr. Peepers.
He was tan and shirtless, as I recall. I'm sure he was claimed by AIDS in the 80s, so we'll try to figure out. But here's the opening to Danger Island. And this was a good day in the Carolla house when I was sitting there watching the banana splits, and they'd go to Danger Island. Danger Island!
That was a sizzle reel.
Was it supposed to be funny or like action-packed?
It was vaudevillian, wacky, and then sort of scary, and then wacky again.
Okay.
And I'd love to talk to Richard Donner about directing Danger Island in the 60s. Oh, we got it. We got the Chongo. I think they would call for Chongo. That was a big deal.
That's Mr. Peepers.
Yeah. Technically, that's a 5 and under.
They would take Jan Michael Vincent, and he'd just go like, "What are we doing?" And they'd just be like, "Just take your shirt off. Just stand there. Just look annoyed with your shirt off.
Done and done.
You know, what's going on?" And that was pretty much Jan Michael Vincent's career.
Wow.
At least the year. Yeah, that's pretty much his whole career.
I think Sid Croft might be the greatest guest we've ever had. That being said, I don't care for Danger Island.
What?
I like
The
it.
little I've seen doesn't appeal to me.
Well, you got to watch the entire series.
I don't think
that's
I do.
what this weekend will be dedicated to.
Sorry, Tessa, no birthday party.
Yeah, and Danger Island's Hanna-Barbera.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why I hate it.
Yeah.
Remember, Sid did the costumes for the banana splits.
Right.
But he did not do the content.
Got it.
That was
Farmed out to
Hanna-Barbera.
Hanna-Barbera.
Right.
Okay.
And, man, now you got to look for the Arabian Nights.
Oh, God. Could it get more offensive?
No, well, the Arabian Nights that was animated.
Okay.
And that was kind of Wonder Twins.
Wonder Twin power activate in the form of an eagle in a bucket of water, always.
Yeah, so the Arabian Nights, where they would go size of an elephant, and the guy'd put his bracelets together and turn into an elephant.
That's just good, clean, magical fun.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So do you have you want to do some like tweets, Max Pow? We never really got to them last time. Somebody tweeted me a crow drinking water and how they do it, but I never really figured out how they did it. But Chris can tell us.
Yeah, so there's an old fable where a thirsty crow would drink water out of a narrow pitcher by dropping pebbles into it.
And
then
having it rise
displacing
up.
it. Yeah, having it rise up and
Smart.
then. and then
I don't think either one of my kids could figure that one out, and they're in high school right now. Like, wow.
Yeah.
So is
It's
that
A
what the
to D.
crow was? That what the crow was doing?
No, so this video went viral because everyone thought this crow's going to do it, but it went a different route.
Okay.
Okay.
He has pebbles, man.
Has the water. He has the stones. He can't get to it.
Oh, he tipped it over.
Tipped it over.
Water's coming out,
Water's coming out.
and he's drinking from the. Oh, just from the neck.
Yeah, so it just get bypassed all the pebbles and so I just tip the bottle
That's
over and just
underwhelming.
drink
I mean,
it.
that's
It's
what a dog would
underwhelming.
do.
Well, I thought there was a picture. I thought the picture was a stroke.
Deceiving. Yeah, I thought you saw this video because you liked it. But
No, I saw a straw in the picture. It was a bottle with a straw. Tipping it over is underwhelming.
Yeah, the thumbnail might have been.
While they look for that, I can't believe I forgot to bring this up. This happened literally 2 days ago, sitting on my couch, probably getting ready to come to the show. And I hear our couch is facing, it's 12 feet away from the fireplace. And I hear like a bong, 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 bong. And I can see the TV's kind of vibrating because the TV's mounted on above the mantle on the fireplace. And I'm like, what is happening out there? And Chrissy comes and goes, what is that? And I'm like, I don't know. She goes out to look. It's a crow. You know the metal, whatever it is. What was the thing called that goes over your
Spark arrestor.
Okay, there you go. The thing that goes
Jesus.
over the top of your chimney, so the shit doesn't get down. Whatever.
Chimney, the stack. Yeah. Spark
I'm sorry, I
arrestor.
was struggling for the word. I have a fucking brain tumor.
I got it. I'm spark arrestor. That's not on you.
Yeah. But, explaining what it is to people. So yes, it is a crow on the spark arrestor banging a peanut so as to open it.
There
Wow.
we go.
Going like
Now
bong,
we're back
bong,
on track.
Bong, bong. And like I could hear, I could see the vibrations in the TV.
They're gonna
Opening nuts on my
Be nice
chimney.
to them. They're gonna be our overlords soon. If somebody's not training these things for God knows what, we're leaving so much money on the table. I mean, forget about my security crows. Have them clean up litter like they do in other. There's just tons
Amsterdam.
and tons and tons of them everywhere. They're smart and they will work for a kernel of corn.
They're motivated.
They're killing time anyway.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Let's see. What else you got?
Here's the thumbnail that you saw. It kind of looks like it's just drinking out of the
Yeah,
the
but that's
bottle.
right
Maybe
before the
that's-
bottle
they
goes
knocked it
sideways.
over.
Brian's story sounds like the telltale heart.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Look inside.
That's
Telltale
right.
crow.
Wow.
All right. Well, there's another story from Oberlin College. I think we've talked about it on the show before, in the bakery, but Dawson has the article.
Oberlin College has agreed to pay over $36 million to the family-owned bakery the Ohio school falsely accused of being racist in a shoplifting incident. Gibson's Bakery filed suit against the Progressive College in 2017 for siding with 3 black students who claimed the store racially profiled them when they were caught stealing from the shop the year before. The hefty payout comes after the Ohio Supreme Court last month denied Oberlin's bid to hear its appeal of the 2019 jury verdict, which found that the college defamed the bakery when a staffer made flyers claiming Oberlin College staffer made flyers claiming that Gibson's had a history of racial profiling.
Flyers?
Wait, because some random kids robbed the place.
Wait, they did steal.
Yeah, but they
Yes.
happened to be black, so...
Well, look, as we've learned, if you steal a bicycle and you're black, it's racist to pursue
sound the
that
alarm.
person or call the cops.
Right.
Look, this is bad. It's very bad. Now, I am not litigious, and I hate lawyers, and I hate a litigious society. But I am for all these people suing sometimes news outlets and sometimes colleges because something happens. In Oberlin's case, black students came in, shoplifted. This business had been there for like 100 years. It was like this bakery or something that served the college campus. Been there for 100 years. Black students came in, stole something. I think they pursued them. Then they called them racist. Then they made a flyer. And the next thing you know, there's an angry mob outside of this business calling them racist. Now, at a certain point, the only thing that's going to get these asshole race baiters to pump the brakes is the thought and threat of possible litigation, because they don't seem to want to do it on their own. They're certainly not into investigating what goes on before they do it. And I'm hoping that whether it's this or whether it's Tin Horn Flats and Mark Garrigus' case and the city of Burbank, like at a certain point, everyone just needs to be sued to fucking slow their roll on all the craziness.
Do we have the flyer?
I'll tell you. Bakery owner Lorna Gibson said in a piece for the Post last week that her family's lives were turned upside down the night of the November 2016 robbery after the students who allegedly beat up her son claimed to cops that they were racially profiled.
Can I say this too? Whether you're students of Oberlin, faculty of Oberlin, or you run the news desk at CNN, could you guys stop for a second and just go, what happened? Mm-hmm. And then they go, well, these black kids came in, yeah, and then what? They stole stuff, yeah, and then the guy who owned the stuff chased them down the street, and then he confronted them, and then the black kids beat him up. So what are we doing with this?
Like who?
No, we're making a flyer.
Oh, here's the flyer.
Can anyone go? What happened? This doesn't feel like it's flyer worthy.
It doesn't make a lot of sense. It says, don't buy, really big on top, and says, this is a racist establishment with a long account of racial profiling and discrimination. Today, we urge you to shop somewhere else in light of a particularly heinous event involving the owners of this establishment and local law enforcement. Please stand with us. Well, who wouldn't? That's so vague. It's like, oh, I don't want to.
Racial. It's a heinous event.
Based on this, I'm on their
I don't want to buy from them.
Right. So now they made $36 million from Oberlin College.
And now they can shut down Gibbs's.
Good for them. But boy, please stop, everybody. Please, you're not making a better society.
You know what? Well, even though I think Dawson said this is from a staffer and not a student, in general, lawsuits like this will get the colleges to start yanking on the leash a little bit of the students. Like, whoa. I know we've been behind you and you can sort of run this campus, but you're about to cost us a shit ton of money and you're not doing this again.
Right. Also, God, there was just another one of these with female Duke volleyball player.
Oh, I saw some headline about this.
Okay, first things first. When the claim is every time I would go to serve, everyone would shout the N-word.
Oh, my God.
Just stop and go, what year is it? And on what campus? And then who is this? And then first question out of my mouth, are they videotaping these games?
Yeah.
It seems like they're rolling film on these games. Why don't we check the tape before we get to it? But then ESPN and ABC and NBC and they all just hit it. They just hit the ground running. And then what they do, and this is a scary time we're in, and this is why news outlets have to do their fucking due diligence. They go, the N-word was used when this young black woman was serving, and then they go, this is outrageous. And I agree, that is outrageous if that happened. Mm-hmm. But we need to find out whether it happened first, just because that is outrageous.
The claim is outrageous.
The claim is outrageous, except for now it didn't happen because somebody who went to the school, I think it was Brigham Young, that they were doing this at, they went, well, why don't we just look at the tape and we have audio and we can hear if people are dropping N-bombs, but somehow their news division is far more advanced than CNN's and NBC's and ESPN's.
Yeah, it took the Cougar Chronicle to figure this out.
The student newspaper at BYU.
Yeah, with the mom featured each week on page 6.
So this girl's made it up?
Sorry,
I don't know the details.
Yeah, I don't know the details either. I just heard it. Look, here's what happens. If we create an environment where everyone has their ears peeled for this, then when you're serving and somebody shouts out anything that starts with an N or C or any other derogatory letter, then if you're in that, there's like a Woody Allen, I can't remember if it was Manhattan or whatever, but he's like, I can't remember the scene, but somebody said, like, would you do this? And he, Jew? You said Jew? And it was like, yeah, you can kind of hear whatever.
Yeah.
If your ears are looking for
tuned
it,
for that,
then you will find that. So I don't even know if people are liars anymore. They're just looking.
Yeah, they're hearing.
Right.
They're looking. So she's hearing something. She's 19 and is serving for a volleyball team. I'm looking more for CNN and ABC's response to this. Like, you have a news division. It's the same as the Nick Sandman thing. Can you just go, has anyone got tape? Do we have tape of this?
Yeah, investigating would be the first step.
Yes, but then they just do it.
First step.
And by the way, remember 10 minutes ago, Duke lacrosse?
Yeah.
And Mike Nifung, who was trying to imprison, he was trying to put the Duke lacrosse team away for rape. There was a black woman involved, and there was a party, and there was no evidence.
No video.
And she was nuts. And I don't know I think she killed her boyfriend.
Oh,
A little bit later on. The whole point is it's been going on for a while. Look, everyone, go get the receipts and then make the allegations, or at least follow it up.
Well, and this says, according to her godmother, I don't know if she was there or not, that what I would imagine, like, you're kind of quiet. I don't know. You know volleyball more than me, but you can hear things when somebody serves. Every time she served, somebody shouted the N-word. Don't you think that person would have been pummeled by, I don't know, their 8th time screaming that?
I would like to think the cooler heads would prevail.
Absolutely.
Like, hey, shut the fuck up.
She said a police officer had to.
I mean, you can find news clips of it, but it's just like, again, first things first. Like this, if you are an attorney or you run an insurance company or something, and somebody comes in and goes, I was just sitting there in my car and this guy rammed me for no reason. He just rammed me. It'd be like, do you know that person? No, I've never met him before.
No, heart
He must
attack?
have a history
Why
of
would
doing
he
this.
ram you?
Yeah.
I don't know, because he's an asshole. Like, because you're the adult or the news outlet or the insurance company or the head of students at Oberlin College, that's your chance to go, wait a minute.
How exactly it is.
Yeah, so you're setting up to serve. They're yelling the N-word, and I'm assuming everyone has heard
If they're
this.
yelling
Nodding
at
in
everyone-
approval?
Yeah, if they're yelling at a gymnasium, everyone will heard it.
Doesn't one just stop at that point? Doesn't the official walk over and point at somebody and wouldn't that happen?
She also said that the godmother also said that a white student came up to her goddaughter and said, you better watch your back on the way to the bus. And like, what the fuck? Like,
All right. Well, look.
It was a friendly sort of like,
Here's-
hey,
oh,
I'll
there's
watch
something on your back.
and
There's.
everything.
I mean,
Look, here's what I'm saying, everyone. Keep going down this road. Just keep banging that racial drum, and we shall have more and more of this. And if we cannot find it, we shall create it.
Rachel
That's
Drum
how it's
was the
worded.
girl who was serving. That was the girl, Rachel Drum.
Really?
No.
Oh, I don't know.
That's a good name. Rachel Drum.
I thought it was a coincidence. All right, let's see. Dameshek is here.
I have something I would love to bring up. And it really, I thought about it when we were watching I'm a Little Bit Country, I'm a Little Bit Rock and Roll with Donnie and Marie. And sort of just.
Wait, one more thing.
Yeah.
The super incensed news outlets, and if you watch like a super cut of them going, it's 2022, we don't look at her as an athlete, we look at her as a black woman. It's like, have you fucks learned nothing? Have you learned nothing? Jussie Smollett, Duke lacrosse, a million other hoaxes, the whole NASCAR Bubba thing with the news.
How many times do you want to go through this?
How many times do you want to fucking get baited into this shit before you do your goddamn due diligence?
You would think that grandstanding and pontificating would have gone down
Yeah.
for recent, revelations over this isn't exactly what you think.
Right. Or are you kind of secretly hoping? That's my whole thing. You guys love it, and that's why we're doing it. All right, sorry, go ahead.
So when we watched Donnie Marie, and when Donnie said, I'm a little bit rock and roll, which was clearly a lie, it got me thinking. One of my favorite songs, my favorite oldies, if you will, is Please Mr. Postman. One of my favorites,
Yeah.
the Marvelettes.
Great
Yeah.
song.
I love it. I was blaring it in the car. Can we just get a little taste of that?
Great.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So I'm listening to this in the car. I'm blaring it. I love this song. And then Spotify played what was next. And I was like, oh, It's the Carpenters version.
Oh, yeah.
Of Please, Mr. Postman.
Big hit from the 70s. Like, we all know where we were the first time we heard, uh-oh, Chongo!
Right here in the studio.
He was probably the world's first crack addict. Like,
Oh, sure.
but
Scratching his neck.
Yeah.
where's that actor, Max Zapata?
Where's Chongo
What's
now?
his credits? Get that guy's IMDb worked up.
Well, he was 40 then.
That's 40 then.
All right, so
His name's Kim Kahana Sr., American actor, stunt performer, and action choreographer of Hawaiian and Japanese descent. He's done stunts for over 300 movies and TV
wow.
shows.
Damn.
And runs a stunt school in Groveland, Florida, which has trained over 15,000 students.
Currently?
I mean, his wiki does not say he has died.
Good for him.
well, as we learned from the great Sid Croft yesterday, my God, everyone's got a story and a book. And I think I got, and I'll circle back to Mr. Postman, but I got lulled into a weird false sense of lethargy. Like, I spent too much time around my family, and I realized their diary was all blank pages.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And I just sort of, like, well, we got up and sat on the sofa, and then we got up and went to work, or maybe we went out of town or something. But there was just, it was so fucking pedestrian.
Right.
Like, there was just nothingness, and my friends were like, yeah, my mom works at the book bindery downtown, and my mom works at the Far East Terrace. She's a cocktail waitress. And it was like, they just lived in apartments and went to their crappy jobs. So in terms of like life experiences, I was just like, you get older and you sit on a sofa and then you go to work for a while.
16
and then
tons.
you like come home.
Yeah.
And then you watch some TV. And
Yeah.
that's the weekend comes around and you hang out.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't prepared for everybody in this crazy pageantry, this mosaic of life, of
Activity,
Yeah.
appointment.
Technicolor.
collaborations and endeavors. I
Yeah.
just wasn't like my grandparents, had the book, Europe on $8 a day or whatever. And once a year, they would go as full econoline to Europe because my grandmother had the government job at the VA, and then she'd get 3 weeks off, and that was about that was as big as it got. As big as it got. I did not know there was such a thing as puppet shows or starting stunt schools.
Yeah, so Chongo, I just got to read you a couple of lines from his life. It's pretty great. So, unable to read or write, he dropped out of school in third grade. Age 13, hitchhiked across the United States by himself, sometimes stealing in order to eat. Served as a paratrooper in the Korean War. Shot.
I'm sorry, this is the fictional history of Chongo? Or this is the man who opened the...
This is Kim, Kim Kahana, where he was captured and shot by an enemy firing squad. Feigning death, he was left by his captors in a mass grave from which he escaped. A hand grenade explosion also rendered him sightless for 2 years and permanently blind in his left eye. He was awarded a Silver Star and 2 Bronze Star medals and 2 Purple Hearts for his services. In 1955, he survived a plane crash in Texas that killed the other 32 people on board.
Jesus Christ.
Wait a minute.
Shit.
The other 32? I mean, did everyone die in this plane crash with Chongo?
Yeah, so surviving this crash and his
the firing
experiences in
squad.
Charmed life.
Who survives? What a...
He was a mass grave.
Who survives firing squads? Way less than 20%.
Oh,
Well,
sure.
significantly.
Yeah.
Significantly. Yeah, I'm saying less. Yeah, significantly less. All right. Wow.
Yeah,
That's
it's incredible.
We got to have Chongo on.
I'm gonna call a stunt school today. Let's find out what
Let's
it is.
get Chongo, man.
Wow.
And by the way, then I would show up at school the next day and announce, Chongo, because that's all we
That
had.
must have killed.
I had that. I had the Love's theme song.
Yeah.
Had a lot of, I could reach into
Yeah,
my
a
bag of
couple things in
tricks
his
and I'd entertain the whole third grade. When you're in, Chongo. Next up after lunch, Pete Ellis Dodge theme, everyone. So buckle up.
3 o'clock shows never like the one. Come twice.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I was
Chongo.
Magic Mountain. We knew what Disneyland was.
Sure.
But Magic Mountain was newer.
But Magic Mountain was closer to your house.
No.
In Valencia?
It was, there wasn't much traffic.
Had to have been.
Well, North Hollywood to
Anaheim's
Anaheim's it's a haul. It's probably 37, 41 miles or
From
something
North
like that.
Hollywood, yeah, at least.
Well, the problem is the traffic now. You
Yeah.
the straight line is 40 miles. It takes 3 hours to do
7
it.
freeways.
But Magic Mountain is probably marginally closer, but it involved a hill.
Oh, I see.
True.
Metaphorically,
And we had
that's-
cars that couldn't make it up hills.
True.
Cars would overheat and vapor lock and stuff. We couldn't pack 5 kids into a car and then go up an incline. That was unthinkable.
See, that's funny because Anaheim is twice as far.
Is it?
Yeah, one's 42 miles and one's 19 miles. But you're right, the hill, you don't have a choice.
From North Hollywood.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was newer. It was different, and legends sprang up about the different kinds of roller coasters
There's
they
some
had
crazy
there,
coasters.
but no one had been there. And then, of course, one kid would go,
Oh, he'd tell
and then
tale.
he'd come back down to town and regale us. You know, we'd start a campfire
Sure.
at Walter Reed Junior High, and he'd get around it, and at some point he'd spit his whiskey into it, and a flame would fire up, and tell us the lore of the Colossus. It's an all wooden roller coaster.
That's right, the Colossus.
And so at some point I went, but of course not with my family. I went with Duke Gallagher.
That's not
my
real.
Pee Wee football coach. He decided that we should all, at the end of the year, he would take everyone to Magic Mountain.
Wow.
And we got into the car, the big station wagon, the big, Buick Skylark wagon
Three
or
of you
whatever.
facing backwards.
Right, back then. And we were heading home, and he brought Kelly, his youngest daughter, his daughter, I guess. She was a year young. She was a cheerleader, a beautiful blonde with like pigtails stuff. I had such a crush on her. And the song came on, the
Mr.
Carpenter's
Postman?
version. And I was like, oh, yeah.
Grooving. This
I
is
was
the life.
grooving to it. Yes.
Life won't get any better than this moment.
No, it was. It was all literally downhill from there. We
Wow.
drove down to North Hollywood. I
Literally.
got dropped off at my piece of shit house, and it was
Wow.
all a skid from there. All right, let me tell you about Geico. Do you own, do you rent your home? Well, you do one or the other, and you know what's easy. Bundling policies with Geico. Geico makes it easy to bundle your homeowners or renters insurance along with your auto policy. It's a good thing, too, because you already have so much to do around the house. So go to geico.com, get a quote, and see just how much you could save. It's easy. At Geico, go to geico.com today, figure out just how much you can save. Dameshek in. Rotten Tomatoes coming down the pike. We'll do all that after this.
And now, Alcoa presents Definitely Not a Jew on the Adam Carolla Show. Dateline, Apollo Beach, Florida. A 46-year-old man pled guilty to 1 count of interstate transportation of stolen property after stealing or trying to steal 84 golf carts. Definitely not a Jew!
Dave Dameshek in studio, fresh off his dismissal from the football from the Roto League. We'll talk about that and Jon Hamm and how that all went down.
I'd rather you not mention
Well,
that
we
name.
have a funny rebuttal that you put together.
Just as soon you not mention his name, though.
Well, again, I use this as an example. Monica Lewinsky goes on the late night shows. Her publicist says, we're only talking about the handbags.
Right.
And unfortunately for the host, it puts them in a bad position because
Yeah.
the audience.
The people want to know.
Right.
Why don't we make a compromise? As Dave knows, in Hebrew or in Yiddish, when something's not kosher, it's treif. Jon Hamm. So he's
Ham is
he's,
treif.
It's right
he's
there.
the treif.
It's right there.
Yeah.
Well,
You
I know there's some racial overtones
Oh.
to what happened. If not racial, but certainly
I
religious
just am,
and ethnic.
I'm asking questions. That's all.
Oh my
About
God.
Jon Hamm?
I don't
Well,
know.
Jon Hamm was the one who booted you out of the league.
John, like I say, I'd be more comfortable. Maybe you could just refer to him as the 4th lead in tag.
Right.
Let's honor
That's
his
what
work.
he's famous
Let's
for.
honor him.
Or
at
the
least.
Geico
he
guy.
deserves
Yeah.
it.
Now,
Not
here's
the
what I
dream
don't
boat.
understand. You had Mark Garagos draft up an agreement
I know.
that said a legally binding agreement.
That's goddamn right. I
At
did.
great expense to to I'm guessing.
I'm not one to talk about that. That's
But to
crude
make
talk money.
sure that you couldn't be removed from the league
That's right.
for 5 years. And you had people sign that agreement, or what was it based on?
Yeah, Mark Garagos, world famous attorney with whom you're familiar, drafted he took time and it cost what it cost.
Understood.
I
So
wanted
Gauche to get any further into that.
And, it said, if Dave Dameshek, champion once again, what else is new, sees fit to not kick you out on this night for the next 5 years, you can never attempt to kick him out. And Jon Hamm said, "Fair." You know what I say to that? Definitely not a Jew. I say something else too.
Wait, did he sign it?
Oh, he signed it. That's right.
He signed the document.
If you wish to take this to the next level and get in touch with your friend Mark Garagos, I'm not going to stand in your way.
Oh boy.
It was invoked in the moment, and I was laughed at. And you know what?
You have an executed copy.
That's right.
Of the contract that Jon Hamm signed.
Yep.
Sober, willing, of his own free
That's
will.
right. And then
Of his
you
own
know what he
volition.
said? Good luck with that. That's what he said. Good luck with
shit.
that.
Wow.
Really thumbed his nose in your face.
I was going to say this as well. He's also in defiance of a legal document, but more importantly, and more fundamentally on the human scale, he's a jerk. Come on, Bald, be ready with that, would you please?
All right, so the league consists of you and Simmons and Sal and all the notables.
Simmons.
Is Simmons gone?
Oh, Bill. Oh, yeah, Bill Simmons. Yeah.
Dead to you?
Right.
All
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
Anyway, and
I forgot about him.
Not Richard Simmons.
whoever wins gets to kick out whoever the next year. So
Yeah, you and me have
Hamm
always
won.
parked our cars in the same garage on this, Ace. Fantasy football's for nerds.
Oh, but but I
it's
don't
so
know.
lame. Who does that?
Who'd
at
even
this
wanna
point,
participate?
Right?
Now he
Grown-up people.
He did cite you losing what was essentially the Stanley Cup trophy, the trophy that had been around for 25 years.
Who gives a good goddamn?
Well-
this is a man who is in more than one commercial with Flo from Progressive. What more can he need? He needs a trophy in addition to that. You know?
Well, should we
so
run,
many blessings.
Should we run you and Hench's sort of rebuttal, or you and Hench on Hamm?
If you want
This,
to.
okay, let's do that.
Jon Hamm, a.k.a. Dick Whitman, putting the dick in Dick Whitman. I don't know if it's public that he's an anti-Semite, but he is. And he kicked out Dameshek. Apparently, Jon Hamm left all his creative juices with Flo, making the Progressive ads, because there was nothing clever about this. This was lazily done. His career pivots to a large degree on his looks, and so it's not suitable to his career to be the second most handsome guy in the league. So he has to get rid of me on that level.
Fair point.
He's like the Cincinnati Bengals or the Cleveland Browns. Like, he sees that the ceiling, he's going to keep bonking his head on the ceiling so long as the Pittsburgh Steelers are in the division. Cool Cats are the dynasty.
There is so much wrong with all that raving lunacy. Well, obviously he's not the Browns or Bengals, because the reason he was able to throw you out of the league was because he's the champion.
I can't knock off the top tier power brokers seated at this table here, Hollywood power players who might be able to help me book Cocoon 3 in the Alfred Brimley role. So I better not go after Hedge. I better not go after Simmons. They might be able to do something for me. Oh, I know who's a fun disposable punchline for all of us to laugh at as he tucks tail and walks out. Dave the Jew.
A lot of people didn't hear it on the video when he said Dave the Jew. A lot of people didn't
Dave
hear
the
it.
Jew. Get out. That's what
No.
he said to me.
By
Bad
the way,
for
you
anybody
kicked
else.
me out last year. Like,
You're
what
goddamn right
am
I
I
did.
supposed to be saying right now? I feel, oh my God, my heart.
Because you're a traitor. You ran off and joined the JV league of Bill Simmons. Oh, you've been on TV and in a movie or two. Tag, right? Was the movie I'm thinking of? That's the one I saw him in on the big
how
screen.
great would it have been if...
I mean, I didn't see it. Nobody did. But you get my point.
I think it's valid.
Oh, please don't be this person. Don't be a weirdo.
The guy who lost the trophy.
Who
Why
gives
is
a
that-
crap? Who
Why
gives
are
a
you the only person who thinks this is a non-event?
Jon Hamm is a 63-year-old man. What does he care about a dumb football trophy for? This is a guy who's been in multiple commercials with Flo. I mean, he needs a trophy? Oh, he was in Top Gun 2. Yeah, like for him, it was a documentary. He played a jerk.
You're out of your mind. You're out of the league and you're out of your mind.
All right. Well,
Well done. Piss and vinegar.
I was in my feelings that
Tough
day.
but fair.
yeah, you were. And look, we don't agree on everything, but the fact that Hench is a Hollywood power broker and Simmons is a Hollywood power broker, and Hamm needs roles. He needs gigs. He needs
You can
work.
see that.
Sal knows Jimmy Kimmel. That's close
wheels.
enough for Hamm.
Right.
Don't want to poke that bear either.
Yeah, don't poke that bear.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If you listen closely, and now that you say that, I seem to remember we watched it. We saw the video of you getting kicked. Now that I think about it, I feel like he did say Dave the Jew.
I may have heard
I
that
don't
too.
remember at the time, but
I
I'm
remember I
starting
was
to.
serving a volleyball up, and I
Right.
heard
Oh,
somebody
yeah.
in
That's
the
right.
crowd yell, Jew. Yeah.
I'm surprising you mentioned volleyball. Down in Mississippi, you heard about the Brett Favre scandal taking money from the poor to
Yeah.
buy his daughter a volleyball court. Jon Hamm involved in that as well. I mean, that's
Oh,
did
I,
not know
I
that.
have that in the news. I don't have Jon Hamm's name.
everything that Jon Hamm touches dies. That's what they've been saying on cable news for years.
Not
now.
women's lust, but everything else.
All right.
Now, how many times? So many people have asked me about the number of women legitimately. Even my wife, Jon Hamm, then he tries to make himself look like a good guy. He kicks me out. He embarrasses me, shames me in front of my peer group. I have to tuck tail and walk out of the room. But then he has to get up and hug me. Oh, just to make sure everybody knows I'm a good guy.
Yeah.
Even my wife asked me, did he smell good?
Oh, man.
I bet he did.
No, he didn't.
All right, let's talk football.
I've washed that shirt that he hugged me in 3 times. Still can't get the stench out.
Can we talk some football? Maybe some football rules.
If you'd like real football, I'm done with fantasy.
Yeah, I mean, all right.
Nerds.
Boy.
I'll put Chris on the spot and look for a play that I saw last night. Okay, so what I do is I watch football. I see what the rules are, and then I'm annoyed by certain rules.
Okay.
And I would like to modify them, and it's like raising the goalpost or something like that. Last night, and not as you hear this, but as I was watching the Chargers-Chiefs game. The Chargers were marching down, trying to get a score. Time was of the essence. They needed a score, and then they needed to get the ball back because they were down by 2 scores. And there was a play where it was probably about 2 minutes left in the game where they threw a swing pass. Gary remembers it because he's a Chargers fan and they are fucking snake bit. He threw a swing pass out to the back. The back tried to stay in bounds and then got thrown out of bounds. And they just did we're winding it. And I'm tired. When I was growing up watching the NFL, if you got one hand out of bounds or you shoved the ball, part of the dance was the clock's running until you get out of bounds. So guys would dive out of bounds just to stop that clock. Now they're doing this. It started with the Rams Super Bowl, and the Rams, well, it didn't start with the Rams and the Patriots in the first Super Bowl. They said the guy got out of bounds, but he really didn't.
Oh, you're talking about the start of the dynasty. Yeah, that's absolutely right.
But now they're just winding it. And so this running back, tries to cut back and just gets tossed out of bounds, and the ref comes in. He's like, we're winding it. It's like, he is thrown out of bounds. Why are we winding this? And I think the argument is sort of like, stop this momentum, but for a millisecond. I'm done with the momentum thing. If you get out of bounds, you're out of bounds. Don't wind the clock.
It was
Stop
a weird
the clock.
call. It really was a weird call. Where are my Chargers at? Are they on the big screen here?
And it fucks up the game too because they needed every second they could get. I don't know what the rule is. Is it momentum?
It's when your forward progress is stopped, the play is stopped.
Yeah, he was stopped, but if he would have peeled back, he would have run for another 10 yards.
Like, the idea that we have, you go from watching, or in my case, I didn't watch, but a whole lot of the U.S. Open tennis, but a lot of people were tuned in. But you watch that technology where they can see if the ball hit a line or not, and like zoom in super tight.
They're using lasers.
And yet, the NFL, which is infinitely more popular than tennis, relies upon the subjective view of the septuagenarian sideline official. It's so crazy.
And if you're lucky,
that we
the
continue
camera
to
that's
do.
mounted up, in the stands.
And what makes it even worse, and I know that the networks are trying to make you feel good and satiated, like I thought I saw it that way, but then they bring in the voice of another official to say, like, yeah, that ref got it wrong, which only makes you more angry. You're like, that's right, so why is the game still going then? They should stop the clock. It makes you loony looking at it.
We'll show you the play. And there's a throw. Sorry, there's 3 minutes and 16 seconds left, but they're down by 10 points, so they need the clock. And he swings it out to his running back.
A little bit of room.
And this is not the
Yeah,
play
this
at
isn't the
all.
one. Further along.
that
It's
was
along
so
the right
right.
side.
That's why I said 2 minutes. It's in
Okay,
that.
okay.
All right.
It's down. It goes down at about 10:15.
Yeah. That and one other play. Casey's all-star tight end.
Travis Kelce.
Kelce. And is it? Yeah, Kelce. Right. He got body slammed.
Oh, yeah.
There was a
I,
crazy
feel like
play.
I was surprised the penalty.
Derwin James got him. Yeah.
He got lifted and he got body slammed. And as soon as he got slammed, the ball just literally shot out from between his arms.
You can body slam people?
surprised.
I don't know where that one fall. It doesn't fall under the heading of leading with the crown of your head or something. And it's not a horse collar. It's not a face mask. It's not roughing the kicker, the punter, or the quarterback. It's a sort of it would fall under a sort of general heading of being too rough, I guess, but it doesn't. Most of the stuff is he led with his helmet,
Right.
or he grabbed his shoulder pad and horse collared him.
Face mask.
I don't know if there's a specific rule for the body slam, but the ball popped out. Now, I like
Top rope.
Now they
God damn.
They go the ground can't cause a fumble. I don't know. I think it makes it more exciting when a guy gets body slammed and the ball goes sailing into the air. I don't like it when they go, oh, he didn't fumble, because we see his knee hit a blade of grass right a millisecond before the ball came loose. Like, I'm kind of like, if you can't hang on to it, you can't hang on to it.
But there's no sportsmanship rule about another guy coming in for the assist and throwing him to the ground?
I feel like the coach from the Disney film where the donkey kicked field goals. I'm like, you show me in the rule book where it says, because we got the face masking, we got the leading with the hell of the crown and all that. It might fall under some rule, but I don't know what the rule is.
I wouldn't mind if they would do, if the ball hits the ground, the ball hits it, and then it flies up, it's down.
Okay.
If you land on your back and the ball flies up like that, I will allow some wiggle room in interpreting that rule.
Would have made that game a lot more
Can we
exciting.
say this though? Let's just pause and just delight in the glory of that uniform matchup. I don't know that we'll see its equal the remainder of. I know we're early on, and I don't want to get hyperbolic, but that may be the loveliest uniform matchup we'll see this football season.
Yeah, it's
Beautiful.
awesome.
It was nice.
And traditional.
Yes.
All right, the out of bounds play, Crystal. Fine.
We're looking for it.
Oh, it's right. It's the last drive.
I know there's not a ton of NFL footage online.
I see.
We have to kind of go through different methods to get it.
All right. Well, we haven't. In that case, now Sheck, you got stuff you want to talk about?
They don't love showing plays that we're putting out highlights.
I
They're
see.
like, oh yeah, see that's a terrible call. Drink it in, everybody, some more. I did want to mention Bald Brian. I wanted to give a shout out to Bald Brian because he joined me on the debut of my new Spotify Live. It is, in fact, live sports trivia show. Now, talk about nerdy stuff. Mm-hmm. Bald Brian joined, and he competed with a huge fan of yours, Ace. I don't know if you are up to speed on Ellie Honig on CNN. He's their legal eagle over there. I might need to, as a matter of fact, I might need to tap into his legal services. If I could, if I could get Garagos and Honig on board. Good luck,
That's
Ham.
a dream team right
Good
there.
luck.
Yeah.
Ham, come on. He has a panel of high-end attorneys ready to do his Hollywood nonsense. But anyway, I'm sorry, I digress. I'm still a little raw about all that. Anyway, Ellie Honig, huge fan of the Adam Carolla show. As soon as I get off any appearance, hits me up, DMs me often. Oh, yeah. Bald Brian as well.
Nice
that
guy.
was funny. Dameshek, not funny per usual by you. But
I think he
Ace
already has
picked you
that
up.
pre-written as a template. Yeah.
Now, Brian's pretty good at trivia.
I lost. Sorry, spoiler, but not supposed to say that?
No, that's fine.
Okay,
please.
I lost Mr. Ellie Honig.
Let's
Trust
look at
me,
this,
for,
and I
for a
wanna-
lot of people listening to this show, that would be a reason to
That's a
listen.
good point. Yeah, I had a couple of brain farts there.
We have the play. Yeah, there's 1:58 left in the game. I was off with my 2 minutes. Here we go.
Chargers have one timeout.
Swings it out. Herbert tries to cut it back, and then it's thrown out.
Not be out of bounds.
Oh, I don't know about that.
That was like a dance move. He just twirled him right off the.
He's winding the clock. Like he's just like, there's no more out of bounds than that, especially if you're used to watching football from back in the day. It just looked like he tried to cut it back and got slung.
And yeah, sometimes if a defensive player stands him up and
holds
him back
him
a
for a
couple
couple
yards,
of, right.
they'll keep the clock running. He knocked him out of bounds.
Well, you know what? I honestly,
Dragged him out of bounds.
I honestly don't get this part of life, and maybe these guys swore an oath not to do this, but when one team is down by 10 points and there's under 2 minutes left and they've got to score, my impulse, if you were to give anything to like a coin toss, would be kind of put it on the side of the team that's down. Let's just make it more exciting. Like, why am I hurting?
You've always been this way.
I've always been this way.
3-on-3 basketball, which is funny. I don't think people from a distance would think that. I certainly wouldn't guess that that's the way you view sports. But that's always been true for you, Ace.
You like the underdog.
You used to be like we'd play 3-on-3, and if somebody's toe was on the 3-point stripe, Ace would be always the one to step in and be like, he thought it was a 3. Just give him the 3. And I'd be like, no, I'm not giving him a 3.
Oh, the other team.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would do that when we play softball, like when the poor chick from the accounting hit it back to the pitcher and tried to leg it out. At some point, she'd inevitably turn left after running through first base.
Would tag her.
And then a guy like Hench would go berserk. She's got to go back to the dugout, and I'd be in center field going, just leave her. Just leave her. I think, by the way, this is a window to my sensibilities. Everyone thinks I'm a douche or unfair or whatever. It all comes out in the sporting realm. My wiring is for the other team to just kind of go, yeah, but let's keep playing or whatever.
We know what you meant.
We know what you meant. I don't know why. That's my wiring. It's always been my wiring.
Kimmel's the one who would torpedo Nancy from the production office.
Right.
Second base to break up the DP.
I'm for it.
In spikes high.
I make no. It's all good to me. I'm just saying. Next time somebody goes, you're being unreasonable, think about the time I was sitting backstage with Mike August and the guy from the club that was defunct and closing down outside of Texas in some bad neighborhood when their guarantee was $20,000, but the club owner said he only made $10,000 tonight. What do you want to do? And I went, I don't know, 15? And Mike went, yeah, all right. And that was the last one. So I'm just saying, it doesn't. It's not kept solely to the softball field or the blue top or the green room of the club outside of Houston. It's a general wiring I have. And if you think I'm an unreasonable person, I would offer many examples of me being reasonable. Maybe Jon Hamm should find a mirror. That's all I'm saying. Like, and if I was Jon Hamm, I would have several mirrors.
Same.
What I'm saying is I have a long history of being reasonable about things. So if you think I'm being unreasonable, maybe in this equation where there's two of us trying to dance and figure out who's being unreasonable,
factor it in.
Maybe I may be the
So wait, so you're
one.
asking now? Listen, your deeds. We've just covered a few of them, but this should guarantee you. Going forward now, just any debate, Adam Carolla must be the one who's reasonable here.
No, but I'm a very, I believe, and this is part of the sort of bigger gestalt and problem of society we're in. Everyone should have a permanent record. Are you a fair person? Are you an honest person? What have you done? Almost like in the criminal code, it's criminal record. Like this guy's robbed a few people and he strong-armed a liquor store owner and stuff like that. But there is a sort of
Jon Hamm bullies Jew nerds.
Right. He hates the Jews. Right. So what we do is we have. You build a record up, but it's not on file with the FBI. It's just your interactions with people.
There should be rap sheets and rep sheets.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, for your reputation.
That's
you
good.
build that reputation over years.
And as Brian
Don't
and
laugh at that.
Adam might not know, as Yom Kippur is right around the corner, that is the time to see if you're going to be written in the book of life another year by the way you treated people.
I don't like to talk about myself.
Just this once.
But you were just showing Kevin Hench on this this clip, right?
Yes.
Let's all you all think of the human being. Let's all, yourselves included.
Okay.
And anyone you know.
Okay.
Kevin Hench and I wrote the movie called The Hammer. The Hammer was based on my life, and I went to Hench and I said, I have an idea for a movie. We shall write it together. And he said, good. And then we painstakingly wrote The Hammer. It's a lot of Ozzy and working construction and working at the gym, and the Bruce, the guy's name at the gym, that was my boss at Bodies in Motion, and many scenes torn from the page of my life. And
Ham's remaking it with himself as the star. That's his thing.
The Hammer?
Remakes Top Gun,
And
remakes Fletch. What else is new? Also remaking himself in the starring role of being John Malkovich.
Weird.
Well, you're not even John Malkovich,
not-
you
yeah.
arrogant. I mean,
And when we were done, Hench said, may I have sole writing credit for this movie?
Ballsy ask.
And I said, why? And he said, well, your career's kind of off and running, and I'm trying to get mine kick-started, and this would help my career a lot. And I said, very well. You shall take sole credit for writing this movie. All right. Who the fuck else do you know who would do that? And if not, and by the way, this isn't balls or strikes on a softball diamond. This is credit for writing a movie that was my life. So next time you call me unreasonable, go fucking find a mirror and tell me if you would do that. Or if you know someone who would do that.
No.
the literal opposite happens all the time.
Oh, yeah.
We're like, wait, why? Isn't that guy the guy's agent? Like, how did he get EP credit on that thing? Like,
Howard Lapidus is
part
still
of the
hammering
deal.
checks from the Man Show when Jimmy and Adam are gone. Now, Hench wrote a lot, and Hench is a great writer and a great friend. And as it turned out, that was kind of the beginning of what has now been a rocket sled ride to the moon. You know what really made Hench's career, who's currently probably running 3 sitcoms right now, you know what it was?
Tell.
You can ask him.
Adam Carolla's generosity.
No.
Oh.
No. A much bigger contribution I made to him than giving him credit for writing The Hammer. Now, some of it was like a SAG-AFTRA Writers Guild thing where it's like it can't be co-written, I think, or I don't know what their fucking rules are. I hate those assholes. It's like, why can't we just say co-written by or two whatever?
Team.
That's what we did, and it, for some reason couldn't. So anyway, I said to Hench, and this is what really impacted his career. You got to change the frames to your glasses.
That's right. I forgot about that. Yes.
And he said,
seminal moment.
Why? And I said, you're just a white dude with kind of strawberry hair who likes sports and has sort of square guy, someone's stepdad frames.
Who isn't?
Hollywood's filled with fucking imbeciles that respond very positively to like a tattoo on someone's calf or cool frames or something cool with the facial hair. You have none of those trappings.
Okay.
You have none. You look as pedestrian as, like a kid eating a raw Oscar Mayer hot dog. That's you. You're nothing. Now, raw. Now, I know you to be exquisitely funny and creative and smart, but those fucking dingbats in Hollywood don't know what funny and smart is. They respond to, Lena Dunham's got a tattoo on her shoulder. She must be a genius because they're fucking phonies, right? You can't walk in with those weird wire gold 80s frames, and that's why you're not getting work. You've got to get some cool frames. He got the cool frames. It all began after that.
Life-changing.
I can't disagree with given the timing of it. And in fact, you called that shot, Ace. You really did. And once again, selflessly called it for Hench. I remember exactly you saying the cool frames. From that point on, what was that, 6 years ago, 7 years ago?
It was probably
coincidence?
eight or nine, but it took off right after that. The Hammer probably helped, 10%, but the frames were the lion's share of what got him work in Hollywood.
Also, by the way, postscript, I'd love to pat Hench on the back, but ultimately when push came to shove, he also afraid of Hamm. A little bit.
Oh, really?
Am I supposed to feel bad for you? You got kicked out. Yeah, you're supposed
Scared
to feel
of
bad
Hamm?
for me, Kevin. You see how it is. These Hollywood phonies.
Have you given any
taking
thought?
care of each other?
Oh my
and
God. He looks 1,000 times better with the new frames.
We're looking at the old frames and the new frames. It's sad that we live in an industry like I hope aerospace doesn't work that way. Like we're not going to hire that guy. He's a PhD. Yeah, have you seen his frames?
Yeah.
He has no tattoos. He does. He said he didn't like Radiohead, so he's out.
It is. I guess now that you bring it up, when you think back about that gaggle, that gang of 20 years plus at this point, you, Jimmy, Sal. By the way, shout out to Sal and everybody at Mush Media, Extra Points Network. Big day, big week, teaming up with Omaha, Peyton and Eli's company now going forward. All our podcasts, all our produced stuff. So muzzle tov to Cousin Sal and everybody. But when you think about it, overall, we are collectively a success story because we don't cut the figure of showbiz. I mean, listen, I'm a ham and egger, but all of you guys breaking out big time really defied the odds given our pedestrian appearance. Right? We don't cut the figure of
regular dudes.
I don't think there's find me 9 Hollywood guys collectively with 0 tattoos.
Can't be done.
We don't show up needlessly in suits at work, that pretentious kind of move.
Yeah, there's no ironic dress.
Yeah, right.
Nobody drives. People drive sort of sensible cars. There's no ironic. Some people will drive like a 60s car or something just to have that je ne sais quoi.
Do any of you own a Pabst Blue Ribbon T-shirt?
No.
You know what? I frown on the hipsters that drink
We
the
don't
PBR.
like hipsters.
Got it.
Why are you drinking? I'm all for it. When I go and when I'm on the banks of the Three Rivers, I feel it's my requirement as a native to drink some Iron City beer. But I'm doing that to support.
When in Rome.
Right. Yeah. This thing of drinking PBR on purpose, what? I don't get it. Wow, how far are you taking this hipster thing? You're punishing yourself. They're superior beers right next to the PBR. What are you doing, hip guy?
They're being hip.
Have you thought about going into your own pocket and replacing the trophy to right this wrong, or you're just walking away from the whole thing?
I don't think I owe anyone a
What's the trophy and shirt?
Listen, I don't give a good goddamn about a trophy.
Right,
That's not why I got into this.
Gina started
that.
It's
that
my
wasn't
fault.
Me.
I didn't get into this to collect trophies. I did it for the glory.
Maybe Ham did.
I mean, can you imagine
he
for
wants
real?
To put it next to his
Did
Emmy.
you hear him on the kick out video too when he said, "You lost the trophy and now my name's not on it."
Yeah.
You're probably you may not win the Ace Award for the Flow ads, but you'll probably be nominated, I think. So how much more do you need, really?
All right, let's take a break. We got the Rotten Tomatoes game to play with Shaq, and we'll do that right after this.
All right, so this week we've decided to focus the game on a star who has earned a tremendous amount of success in a short amount of time, achieving what truly is a meteoric rise to fame and fortune. So today's Rotten Tomatoes game is themed, for no reason at all, around Jon Hamm.
Wow.
Wow.
That
cuts deep.
Worthy, he's a big star.
Yeah, I mean, he's a huge star. He's dreamy as all get out. Men love him, women love him.
Shaq, I'm going to skew low for you, out of respect. Definitely.
This is going to be tough because before Top Gun, are there movies that people have seen?
How dare you?
Shaq, I don't want to tell you how to play the game, but you have to do what the great Quincy Jones says. Check your ego. Yeah, you have to put the hatred.
It's not personal.
You have to check it. You just have to check it to play the game.
I'm a gamer. The only thing is, I'm only playing if I get a trophy for this.
Okay.
I mean, that's
boy.
Fair's fair, right?
All right, here we go.
All right, well, first up, we follow a group of Boston bank robbers who set out to get one final score by robbing Fenway Park. Can the gang get away with it, or will they be outsmarted by a genius FBI agent, played by an even more genius actor, starring Ben Affleck, Jeremy Renner, and the great Jon Hamm from 2010, The Town.
Yeah, people love this.
Murderous robbers versus a do-gooder for the FBI, and somehow Jon Hamm comes off as the jerk in the movie.
Yeah.
Shocker.
I got to say, Shaq, I really enjoyed this movie.
Yeah, people love this movie.
Yeah.
Can I say this? Because I have a heart as big as the ocean. I have to give credit where it's due. This side of 25th Hour, always forget the guy's name. Who sweats Ed Norton in that when they're in the interrogation room. And Ed Norton's like, I'm not telling you anything. And you really feel like he's going to get away with this. Basically, the message is like, you're not scaring me, cop.
Right.
And then the cop sweats him. And you're like, oh, my God, I would pee and weep simultaneously if a cop ever threatened me like that. Jon Hamm talking to Affleck. That is one of the great interrogation scenes in movie history. Mostly because of Affleck.
Everyone locked in?
No.
Gina, you seen this?
Yes, I love it. It's a great movie. All right.
I liked it. I said 88.
89.
Whoa. I go 84.
81.
Wow.
The town is certified fresh at 92.
The people have it
92.
at 85.
That was a crowd pleaser. It's a great movie.
It is a good picture.
Now, there's nothing better than having a group of friends who can get together every year to play a game near and dear to their hearts, such is the case in this film, where 5 friends hit the ground running for a no-holds-barred game of tag. And just like in The Town, this film stars the legendary Jeremy Renner and the even greater legend, Jon Hamm.
Yeah.
From 2018, Tag.
Such a capable
Based
actor.
on a true story.
Yeah.
Renner calling up Hamm. Let's run it back. Remember how good The Town was? Let's do it again. Then they make tag and they're like, oops.
All
pushed
right,
it too
we'll
far.
do another one, but it's got to start with a T. I don't think this one was good. Good cast.
Great
Lots
cast.
of stuff going on. And so the question is are we kind of a lukewarm 53 or do we dip down into the teens on something like this? Like, did it just not work?
I don't think this was very well received.
I'm with you. Could be some scenes in it that
I
were funny.
pride myself on rarely not finishing a movie, no matter how bad. This is one of the few movies I turned off after maybe 20 minutes. I was just very bored.
Doesn't mean the critics turned it off.
No, you're right. I don't know how good it ultimately was or bad.
As I've counseled Hamm many times, just make it silent movies. Oh, flapping your gums is only going to hurt the cause, man. Just sit there and look pretty, would you? Burn a nail, that looks good.
All
Ladies
right.
like that.
I'm torn 33%.
26.
37.
22.
Tag is rotten. 56.
Oh, shit.
Didn't you say like 50 something?
54, 53.
How
yeah.
bad does a movie have to get before it gets below 50?
Well,
My goodness.
It has the Ham factor. So that's good for 30 points.
Swine.
Well, as their other friends start to have children and grow distant, 2 platonic friends decide to have a child together without becoming a couple. But that's not important. There is an amazing actor in this movie who also served as the producer, providing his talent for making tough decisions and finding correct solutions. Starring Adam Scott, Jennifer Westfeldt, and professional producer who knows how to get things done, Jon Hamm, from 2011. Friends with Kids.
I don't
Wow,
recall
this is a deep pull.
Yeah, now he used to be in a relationship with Jennifer Westfeldt. So
Yeah.
I guess that was maybe around that time.
Yeah.
Oh, that and the
Kissing
funny
Jessica
guy
Stein.
from
Yeah, that's Hench's
Bridesmaids.
wife.
Yeah,
What?
the Irish fellow.
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
funny and I like that guy.
Heather Jurgensen is from Kissing Jessica Stein, who's married to Hench,
Oh, I
who was
didn't know
in The
that.
Hammer as well.
I didn't know they were married. Wow.
In
Yeah.
fact, really, I'm not sure if it's Hamm's first acting gig, but yes, he has a minor role in that movie with that, and I'm not sure if that's...
Oh, Kissing Jessica Stein?
Yeah.
It's a really good movie.
Yeah. I know.
Guess what? You can blame Hench for Hamm's career, I guess, everybody. Congratulations.
Hench and
Full
Hamm.
circle.
I think I saw this, but I'm not sure.
I've never
To
seen
Goyam.
this.
Stunner.
Yeah.
Teaming up.
Friends with Kids. I have no idea.
Do we know who directed this? Do we know anything about it?
I have no
Seems
idea.
pleasant.
It's a nice
We know the
cast.
producer.
This movie seems like it was made 27 times in about an 18-month span. Am I right?
Yes. Yes.
Friends
yes.
with benefits and all that kind of stuff.
All right.
It was directed by Jennifer Westfeldt.
Okay.
Interesting.
All right. Female director might get a slight bump there.
This had to be right before Bridesmaids. I mean, Chris O'Dowd and Kristen Wiig are in this.
All right. Good cast. Female director. Heard anything about it?
Never.
I don't know what to say. I just go 50%.
Oh, I'm a little higher. I bet it's pleasant. 73.
I said 70.
I'm going 59%, and I do like that the producer, Jon Hamm, saw fit on the movie bill to put himself right in the middle of the picture.
Yeah.
Yes.
Friends with Kids is fresh. That's 67%.
Needed that.
Too far off. All right.
This getaway driver.
Trust me, everybody. I'm the voice of Mercedes, and I think you should listen to my voice here when I tell you that when you put me squarely in the middle of the movie bill, the ladies are going to show up. No questions asked.
The people are at 49 on Friends with Kids, which is weird.
That is weird.
This getaway driver loves three things: speed, music, and a waitress named Deborah. But when a heist goes wrong and he is threatened by his former crew, the driver must face off against a sharpshooter and an even sharper dresser, played by America's favorite actor, starring Ansel Elgort, Kevin Spacey, and the Ham Man himself from 2017. Baby Driver.
Now, I don't know what to say about this because this is one of my husband's favorite movies. He saw it alone in the theater like 15 times. I've seen it a few times. I really like it, but does everyone like it as much as he likes it?
It's a good movie.
It's got very stylized.
Yes, it's got great style and great energy. I don't know if this is Edgar Wright's finest film. I do not think it is.
I think in terms of integrating the music actually into it, that the guy's listening to it as he's driving and everything.
Fun.
I'm gonna go strong here and say
wait.
it's
Wait,
even
wait,
better
wait.
than when Jason Gedrick requires ambiguous white man's rock and roll in his ears to fly his jet effectively in Iron Eagle. This is even better. That the guy needs to drive with, and the music is great in this. It's a great soundtrack.
Okay.
Didn't come too far off of, what was that Driver movie that bothered the shit out of me?
Just called Drive.
Just Drive.
Elliot
right?
Gould.
Very different, though. No.
Or that was this one.
No, this was Cranston was in it. And
Ryan Gosling.
Yes.
Yes. Shaq, you know what bothered
Elliot
me
Gould
about that
was-
movie?
I think you're confusing the Jews. It's Albert Brooks.
You're
Yeah.
right. I
And
did
Perlman.
confuse my Jews.
And Perlman.
Thank you.
They did that move. Well, they did two things in that movie. They did the move where the guy's a really good driver in all movies. At some point, you can grab the e-brake, flip the car around, drop it in reverse, and then beat the car that's in drive going forward because you're in reverse. That's not really how they make cars.
I always have wondered about this. How fast does a sports car go backwards? Because you see it all the time. Out racing coppers.
Probably top out about 17 miles an hour because it's one gear.
Is that right? I'd love to see I'd love to see you drag like that, or to whoever's willing to do it. Like, how fast can you really race?
You really
backwards?
can't go as fast backwards as you can forwards.
No, you can go fast backwards to a limit, because the thing about reverse is it's one gear. So it'd be like, how fast could you go in first gear?
Right.
Because why would you design a transmission that then shifted into second and third in reverse? You're just going down your driveway.
Unless you watch Tenet, right, Brian?
And
Well done.
the gear would be ratioed lower a little bit. So you'd have one gear and it'd be lower so that you could kind of back up a steep driveway or something. You'd have a little more torque, but what would mean, like, same with your car, fifth gear is like overdrive. That's on the freeway. It's a different ratio. So they did that. But the greatest scene of all time was Bryan Cranston talking about the used NASCAR and him looking at it going, well, it's engine's fresh and still got tread on the tires, so it's a good buy. Have you
Even
never?
I know that.
First off,
I know
there
that's
is no
stupid.
tread on the tire. It's a slick, number one. But have you not seen a race? They changed it. They show up with a semi truck with 2,000 tires, and they change them every 20 minutes. Like, no one has ever in the history of selling a race car talked about the tires, because the first thing you need to do is you have to get new tires.
It's expendable.
And we'll bring 1,000 of them to the next race. Still got tread on the tires. Jesus Christ.
That is an ongoing good observation by you, that, you know, as meticulous as these big Hollywood productions tend to be, that they never have somebody on site to go, like, just the sport. By the way, call me up, showbiz. I'm ready to go. I don't know about car racing. I'll defer to Carolla on that, but I can advise you on that wouldn't happen.
He's going to jump 300 feet, field goal to field goal. Jesus Christ!
That, by the way, the backwards driving thing also happens in Ready Player One.
Oh, really?
They go super fast in a DeLorean. Again, I'm fascinated. That is an ongoing mistake.
All right. People like this movie. Very highly stylized. A lot of good performances. Hammy played a tough guy.
Hamm took this role because Kevin Spacey was in it, and he figured, well, at least I can't be the most loathsome guy in it.
Oh, my God.
I think this kind of film critics like at 87.
You're 100% right. Critics go nuts for Edgar Wright and all of his anything he touches. So I got 88.
I as well went 88.
I got 83.
Baby Driver is certified fresh at 92%.
This is my worst performance yet.
People at 86. I got my finger on the pulse of the people, and that's what really matters.
That's right.
Finally, a rundown hotel becomes a seedy battleground when 7 strangers converge on a fateful night for one last shot at redemption before everything goes wrong. But remember, this is just a movie. In the real world, nothing could ever go wrong for Jon Hamm.
True.
Starring Jeff Bridges, Cynthia Erivo, and John the Hammer Hamm. From 2018, Bad Times at the El Royale.
Who saw this?
I loved it. Adam didn't like it. You saw it and you didn't like it.
I felt that it was kind of aware of itself. Like,
it totally was.
It kind of happened, it's like after Tarantino started coming out with films, other people started getting into that genre, and I just felt like they were too self-aware. But it was perfectly watchable and interesting and kind of kept you going.
Has a real Boogie Nights poster.
I love this movie.
Okay.
It's very stylized also. It is self-aware. It's ironic.
I've had it on the DVR for quite some time.
I really enjoyed it, but everything Adam said is correct. I enjoyed it.
Who's this pretty boy schmuck in the way blocking Jon Hamm in the poster?
Oh, that's fucking Thor.
That's
Hemsworth.
All
More
right.
ham.
All right, this shall be interesting. Let's see if Brian puts his money where his mouth is on this one.
I'm going to need a rally here. I'm going to try to thread the
needle. Kind of had a black woman as the lead or one of the leads, which is always worth, it's a couple of points in there. Highly stylized, but sometimes the highly stylized will backfire. Critics can go, I'm not buying it.
I have no idea.
But perfectly watchable and interesting art direction and stuff like that. Looked good. I don't know. Took place in the 60s, Ryan.
Yeah, it was a Manson era, I think, late 60s. Interesting hotel on the California-Nevada border, and the border goes right through the hotel, so you can gamble on one side and not on the other.
They have that in Tahoe,
The Calnev, I think.
Yeah, right, exactly. Calneva or
something like that.
Yeah.
All right. Everyone locked in?
Yeah.
I went just fresh at 67.
Oh, wow. This is going to separate the men from the boys. I went a little higher at 85.
I know nothing about it. I'm trying to hit it dead nuts on 79.
I went 71.
All right. Well, Bad Times at the El Royale is certified fresh.
Okay.
Put it away.
At 74%.
Needed that.
And the people at 74.
I'm surprised, actually.
Yeah, that seemed about right for the way I felt. And it's hard, when the people and the critics are simpatico, in this case 74 across the board, then it's worth a watch. I would say that.
Probably the closest game we've ever had in Rotten Tomatoes history. Gina Grad, after the longest podium streak in the history of the game, you got 4th place. You're off.
Wow, I can't believe I'm not last.
What's the 4th place score?
4th place score is 57.
Wow, respectable. Respectable.
Just like Heinz Field.
Bested by 1 point from the Ace Man for 3rd place, 56.
Dave, you're in
I thought I did horribly here. Yeah.
Wow.
Leaving us Dave Dameshek and the bald one. Brian usually wins these games.
I need a trophy here.
If he does today, the nation will cry.
Oh, come on. I don't know if the nation will cry.
The world.
But I mean, let's really talk about who the real winner of this game is. It's
better.
Jon Hamm.
That's right.
Hey, man.
Let's give it up for Jon
God
Hamm.
bless.
everybody.
Thank goodness that guy finally gets a break.
Everyone's playing
Real
for second
underdog
place.
story.
So we'll go ahead and move everybody else down the podium. Bald, 54. You're now in third place. Dameshek takes second with 47.
Wow.
Oh,
Close.
Jack.
You won?
I hope you feel
that,
vindicated.
Jon Hamm. Can't keep a good Jew down.
Yeah.
Suck it, Ham.
Wow.
Oh, and by the way, one more time. You're a jerk.
That's right.
Thank you.
2 weeks running. Outsider coming in
I know.
into our
Like
house.
that.
Brian Bosworth won the last game we played.
True.
Did you do Stone Cold?
With this astounding 31 or
He had a
something.
really
Yeah.
good score.
He really got it.
He really got it, and then Sheck waltzes in and grabs another victory. We got to circle the
panced
wagons.
me.
We gotta
Jon
circle the
Hamm
wagons.
is my Bo Jackson. So this is justice. This is where you come to find a little bit of revenge, a reckoning. The Adam Carolla show is where it's at.
I just hate that I beat you two mooks 2 weeks in a row and for nothing.
Wow.
for nothing.
For nothing.
Yeah.
To no avail.
That's right.
That's right. No avail. Boz rolls in, and now Sheck.
Hey, I know, listen, we're playing little games here, and like I say, we're now doing Mr. Lister. I just wanted to throw it at you. If you don't want to do it, we don't have to do it. But very quickly, to give you a taste of the game, Bald is a movie trivia guy. You two are as well, Gina and Ace. Very quickly, Sylvester Stallone movies. Let's see who can name the most.
Oh.
One by one by one, Bald, show up.
All right,
and name
hold
them.
on.
I got-
Sheck.
I'm ready.
This is 20 minutes, and we got the
20 minutes?
We got
How
the
long do you
news.
think this is going to go on?
Can I open it and close it with rhinestone?
Okay, well, we won't do
what
it.
else
but that-
matters?
All right, can I say the deep cut porn called the Italian Stallion?
I've seen
the
that.
bootleg that was released in the shot in the 70s.
Oh, yeah.
And he's in it?
Oh, come on, Sheck. He's the original Kardashian.
Sly Stallone?
How did you not know this?
No, I have no idea. You guys are steeped in the Stallone.
Look, I know porn.
And Stallone. Those are the two things you probably know best. in this
After
world.
Rocky, there was a scuttlebutt that he'd done some sort of grainy black
Really?
and white
Yeah.
porn film from the 70s or
Yeah.
something. Now, they didn't call it the Italian Stallion
It was renamed.
for Rocky.
I had no idea.
Yeah, no, it was originally called Rambone. Do you know there's an 80s male porn star called Dick Rambone?
Of course.
I did not know that.
Wait, was the one
yeah.
he was in called The Party at Kitty and Studs
That sounds about right.
from 1970?
Yeah, renamed and re-released as the Italian Stallion once it became world famous.
Wow.
Well, you know my affection for Nighthawks. That's a place where me and Ace part ways.
How
I
are
don't
you
know
not
why you
aware
don't
of
like
this? All right, we'll take ourselves a break. Find out if Dick Rambone's still alive. Probably slid behind the camera by now. And we'll be right back after this. I seem to recall Dick Rambone was of Middle Eastern descent,
Okay.
which you did not see a lot of
Yeah.
back in 80s, San Fernando Valley porn.
Right.
But we can do a deep dive on it.
Yeah,
Ham
born
bone.
in 57. His last credit is 92. Mm-hmm. So
Say where
But
he's from or what is
not
what his
see,
Christian
just-
name is?
He's just
Elusive.
born in the USA. That's all it says.
I don't
so.
think it's a Christian name.
Okay. Well, there's only one man.
Rambo.
There's only one man right now literally on Earth that's more beloved and celebrated than Jon Hamm.
Can you find a picture of Dick Rambone? He's got a little Freddie Mercury to him. It's got a sort of Middle Eastern flavor to him.
He looks exactly like Freddie Mercury.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Dick Rambone.
And he's a coxman.
Is he holding a rifle?
Looks like it.
In this particular.
Is he Serpico?
He's serpentine with his
I
penis.
see.
All right, sorry. What do we
All
got?
right, so a beloved man, not Jon Hamm. His name is Yvon Chouinard. He's the founder of the outdoor apparel company Patagonia.
Oh, yeah.
Putting his money where his mouth
Didn't he
is.
just give away his company?
The unconventional billionaire has given away the entire company to fight climate change. He and his wife and his 2 adult children have transferred the ownership of $3 billion from the company.
He should love climate change. He makes all the gear
That's
to
right.
fight it. You
That's
know
right.
what I mean? All the
windbreakers
parkas and
sure.
tents and
to a trust and nonprofit that'll make sure it's approximately $100 million a year in profits are used to fight climate change and protect underdeveloped areas around the world. He's 83 years old. He said, hopefully this will influence a new form of capitalism that doesn't end up with a few rich people and a bunch of poor people.
The beauty is at some point, 10 minutes after he dies, some woman who used to work as a temp, as a secretary for Patagonia, would say, he was eyeballing me once. And we'd go, fuck that guy. Take the statue down in front of the UN. Yes.
So whether you agree with this, you're down with this causes or not, this is a guy who put his money where his mouth is.
Very much so.
Appreciate it.
And in the genre that he knows best. You know, we have like the Warren Buffett and what's it called, like the Giving Pledge or whatever with Oprah and stuff. But this guy eliminating the middleman and doing it now. I wonder how his adult children feel about this.
It is funny to think about those people instead of arguing with a sibling about who deserves it more. The world gets it. $3 billion, you say?
Yeah.
I'm fascinated by what companies are worth. $3 billion. Yeah. Patagonia. Would that be your guess? That's maybe instead of Rotten Tomatoes or in addition to. Guessing the value.
Oh, I would have no
When you
clue.
see companies get sold, you're like, it sold for what? That website sold for $5 billion? Why would what value does it have?
Can someone who's better at math than me, just real quick, $100 million a year for $3 billion? That's
$100 million
It's $100 million a year.
30 years.
That's
For
30 years, right?
billion?
For $3 billion.
Oh, right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Good for him. That's what I was thinking I was too scared for. All right. Let's talk about the Phoenix Suns and the Phoenix Mercury owner, Robert Sarver. Are you guys familiar with him? Because you're about to be.
now.
I know
You're
this story.
about to be. He's been suspended for a year and fined $10 million as an NBA investigation found that he used the N-word at least 5 times. The NBA also said that there were instances of inequitable conduct toward female employees, including sex-related comments. He's not allowed to be around any NBA or WNBA facility or to be part of any event of theirs during his suspension. He is the second owner to be suspended for racist comments. Everybody, what was his name?
Sterling?
That's right, Donald Sterling.
Yeah, can we make a definition? And I don't know all the nuts and the bolts, but there's using the N-word and then there's repeating somebody else
The
using
Papa
the
John's clause.
N-word.
Yeah.
Right. I draw a distinction between you just randomly throwing out the N-word and you saying this other guy said the N-word.
He was at a Jay-Z concert. He was singing loudly.
What if he was literally reading aloud from Tom Sawyer?
Yes, it's a very good
Huck
point.
Finn.
So they never really include the context of it. It's just he used it. As we know, Shaq, a joke I told on stage when I was in Pittsburgh, your quarterback who a couple seasons ago got bonked on the head by the Browns defensive end.
Mason Rudolph.
As he took his helmet off, he said,
Miles
Garrett said
accused Mason Rudolph of saying that.
Yes.
Whether or not that actually happened is another
then
matter.
everyone said no one around them heard it. And then my argument was when you bring out the N-word, you don't normally go, get in here.
We only got a minute.
Not for nothing. But I'm going to use I'll call you the N-word. Okay?
It is often shouted.
Usually when someone's slinging around and trying to kill you and there are many other bodies around you, the N-word might come sailing out.
Sure.
They're Browns and Steelers both around us here. We're a mixed company. I don't want to offend
The
anybody
argument
but you.
that he did say it, but it was very focused and quiet in the middle of the field, I'm not buying into it.
Well, also, the league's mics all off.
Oh, weird.
Mics didn't pick it up.
Oh.
The officials didn't hear it. Then Myles Garrett went back to the locker room. He was steamed. He was smoking mad. 10 minutes later, he's comported himself, and now, all of a sudden, he, in quiet tones, can say, this is what happened to me. Checks out. Nobody heard it. Not even former Brown in that time. Now, Pittsburgh Steeler.
Yes,
Gloriously
Myles
named.
Garrett is despicable for doing this. He really shouldn't be saying anything. He's furthering this whole fucking horrible narrative that's getting people killed. But also, as I say all the time, and we're fucking nuts as a society. People go like, "Jesus, Myles Garrett took his helmet off and like almost killed him." And then you go, and then someone goes, "Yeah, but he may have used the N-word or said something." And then one goes, "Oh, okay." So if someone calls me a wop, I'm allowed to fucking take a helmet and physically assault them. You're still not allowed to put your hands on people who use Dago, kike. You're not allowed to physically assault people.
Where's my helmet?
Sorry.
It's crazy. I mean, how many years ago was that now? 3-4 years ago at this point. But I still go back to exactly what you're saying. What if he cracks him with that helmet on his uncovered head? And kills him on the field. Think about I know it's dark.
If
he splits his head and he's bleeding everywhere?
If we could prove he used the N-word, we'd keep walking. If we could prove it.
Really think about imagine what that look would have been. A football player laying on the field with his head split and bleeding everywhere.
Was a crazy,
boy, that was nuts. That went a little too far.
Crazy story.
Hey, I mentioned, sorry to interrupt. I mentioned this came up a week ago, and the other day was in the studio. I want to ask if you recall, early in the radio show days, we had like a comedy show at the Improv, and it was like Friends of the Adam Carolla Show and whatever. You were there, Adam was there, and Adam introduced the show and immediately handed it over to you and went home. Do you remember that?
Yeah, of course I did. That was
I haunts him.
I have no recollection, but I wanted you to get stage time. That I do recall.
That was the same thing. What you did for Hench with the movie,
That's
you
right.
did for Dameshek. I think,
That's
let's hear what you got up on the stage. I'm not going to hear. I'm going home. But none of these people will.
I got to tell you, when the alarm goes off at 5 a.m. and you're out at night, you just, like the telltale heart, like the crow with the peanut, it's just tick, tick, ticking. You're just.
This is at the world famous Improv, and there was a gang. It was Dave Attell.
Did the alarm
Jeff
not go
Ross,
off for Dave the next day?
No, well,
no, you're on the same show,
right? No.
Yeah,
but it would the gift that the inadvertent gift from that was we're sitting there and it's a packed house. And we're like, wow, this is really great. I guess this radio show is really coming together. Look at all these fans; they're excited to see the Ace Man. Carolla, like 4 minutes before the show, goes like, I gotta get out of here. I'm gonna go home. I promised I'd watch Survivor at home, so I'm gonna get out of here. And then I'm like, that's a funny joke. Then he jumps on the stage, Carolla. He's like, hey, thanks for everybody coming out. I'm gonna turn it over to Shek here the rest of the way here. I'm gonna let him do it. If you would have told me that 20 minutes before, I would have worked myself into a lather of cold sweat. Instead, it was like,
here we go.
Here's Shek.
That's right.
Showtime.
That's right.
I don't think I offended anybody by being terribly unfunny. Just my mediocre level of unfunny.
Yeah, you were
That's
fine.
I put my Adam Carolla thinking cap on with something that is a big viral to-do lately. I'm hearing a lot, and I don't know if you guys are running in the same circles, but a lot, I'm hearing from other people that other people are offended about the new Little Mermaid who's black.
Yes.
Put the picture up. It's Halle Bailey, not to be confused with Halle Berry.
Gross.
And it's beautiful. It's a live action Little Mermaid. How exciting! I'm seeing people get it whipped up to into the frenzy, and I even put a Twitter poll up about this, going, "Is anybody mad? Do you know anyone who's mad about this? Is anyone even aware of this?" So
I watched TMZ.
Okay, maybe you can tell me. I can name you about 100 people who have said that people are up in arms about this. I've never encountered one person who's actually mad about the color of the mermaid. I don't know it.
You surround yourself with adults and decent people.
She's very light.
I must.
Her hair is reddish.
Well, she's an Ariel. She's supposed to be in hair.
We do. Oh, it's kind of got a little dready to it.
She's underwater.
She's underwater.
Do you get dreadlocks when you go underwater?
I guess. Matted a little.
Got to do something to pass
Am I
the time.
am I looking at kind of ropes?
Yes, you are.
Like
I'm just fucking around.
beach
I don't
hair,
know.
right?
Yeah.
Huh?
Is beach hair a thing?
Yeah,
right?
but at this point, she's never breached the surface, so
but
he has
she
a
has
good point.
dreadies, right?
A little bit, yes.
Never
Yes,
sat
she
well
does.
with me that the end of Splash, spoiler alert, that Tom Hanks jumps into the water with Daryl Hannah and then they live under sea for the rest of their days. How do they talk to each other? That must make Hanks like, all right, I liked making my sweet love on you, but the rest of my life now, I'm never gonna have a conversation again.
Yeah.
Gonna live at the bottom of the sea, no TV,
No
what am I
lights.
gonna do? No pizza. This sucks.
So, but you can.
I'll
but you
find
can-
another lady. There are
you can-
plenty of fish in the sea.
You can pull apart a lobster with your
Figured it.
so to
hands.
speak.
So on TMZ, did they showcase anyone who's actually steamed about this?
No, I think what we do is, maybe it's the theme for the show, but we've decided that we live in this sort of crazy, racist, clan-driven world. We have folks who work for the government who explain that white supremacy is like the biggest domestic problem we have. We really work it hard. But you're hard-pressed to find this group or this march or this rally or whatever it is. So a few fucking knuckleheads send out some tweets, and then we go, can you believe what kind of society we fashioned?
But you don't.
That's a prominent guy who's doing it.
You don't know
that
that
one podcast guy who's pushing it real hard, making
Who?
videos about it. Walsh.
That's got to be a joke. Is it?
I don't know.
Is he fucking serious?
I don't know. I looked at. I was like, exactly your
that's
question.
ridiculous.
Who cares about this? I clicked in to see what the reaction.
Yeah.
I don't know who runs those Twitter accounts, but people are mad.
Well, thank you for being able to answer this because I don't follow him, so I didn't know
There's
that
some
people
pretty dark
actually
stuff
are
out
up in
there.
arms.
Here's
about
what
this.
we're going to have to get used to. A group exists for everything. There are plenty of flat earthers. There's plenty of whatever 9/11 deniers. There's plenty of people that are upset over a black mermaid. There's just going to be. They're out there. They're going to be there. The real question is what policy are they in charge of? That's my feeling. Like if
He's inducting the Mermaid Act of 2022.
Yeah, I'm just saying. All right, there's the Klan's out there. Okay, but then they are gonna enforce this two lunch counters thing. Because if they don't have any juice or power, then I'll keep walking. She's pretty. Who cares? Mermaids don't actually exist anyway.
Whoa.
And I get it.
Crossing the line.
I am gonna need though. I think the pushback on stuff like this is not we are outraged that there's a black person who has taken this role. I think the pushback is we have roles, the Karate Kid or whatever it is, was this, and that it's more of a hypocrite Hollywood thing, which is we're going to get some goodwill by sort of shoehorning black faces in traditional white roles, and we'll just keep doing that. And then it ends up feeling disingenuous more than I don't want a black person playing this. It's more of a Hollywood hypocrite, like, oh, okay, so this is what you're gonna do.
More engineered than inspired.
Right.
And I mean, I guess the other way to look at it is back then they didn't think that a black mermaid, whatever, they couldn't open a movie. Like, come on,
Right.
you're not a white guy. Like, nobody's gonna. But now we know better. But
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's probably both. I just can't believe that there are goddamn morons on earth that
There
are having a problem
people
with
think
this.
Elvis is still alive.
That's right.
That's
John was supposed to come back and re-announce Donald Trump was the president.
That's right.
That's right. Where was
that.
he? Okay.
They're
Well,
all out there.
also, for better or worse, 2023, I just announced Little Mermaid reboot starring Jon Hamm as the Little Mermaid.
Oh, my
Yeah,
God.
why
Still
would
my
do that?
heart.
It's
Could be a
ridiculous.
huge
Oh,
hit.
I'm a big
That's
fan.
buffoonish
That
at this
sounds great.
point.
I can't wait.
Also, can I just say quickly, Little Mermaid? We have daughters, three of us. The worst role model for daughters of all the Disney
She's one of the
princesses.
weaker
I'd rather
She
princesses.
sees the guy.
Yeah.
She sees the guy on the boat, and Eric, I think, he's like, "Oh my God, I'm in love with him." You haven't even spoken to him, and you're in love with him. She just gives up her entire life because she met a handsome devil.
She literally gives up her voice to be with
Yeah.
him. I don't know how much
She's
more
the
poetic
worst.
you
She's
can get.
the worst role model of all the princesses.
And to bring it all home, remember the episode of 30 Rock where Jon Hamm plays the best looking guy on earth?
No.
Okay. And he's dating Tina Fey and says, oh, my high school swim team picture was the inspiration for Prince Eric on The Little Mermaid.
Wow.
That is freaky.
Yeah.
All right, one more quickie.
Okay, let's see here. A quickie. Okay. This
I hear
is
Ham
great.
specializes in those.
Easy.
Okay, there's a video from a nursing home in Taiwan that went viral a couple days ago, and we just have to show it. She's this exotic dancer. She came in to entertain
Pass.
some aging military vets.
Oh.
The strippers' visit went down last week during this Mid-Autumn Festival, which it's called the Annual Harvest Celebration in China. And video of her performance is spread far and wide, much to the credit of the Nursing Homes Administration that you're going to fucking love this, and then I'm going to show you the video. When they received backlash for bringing a stripper into an old folks' home, the spokesperson said, the intent was to entertain and make the residents happy, and I think we did that.
Backlash from whom?
Assholes!
It's the same The ones that don't like the black
Pearl
Ariel.
clutchers.
You know
So
what I mean?
here's the video, and you might need to do some play-by-play because it's just it's delightful. Go ahead.
It's an old folks home, and she's doing it.
And it gets worse. Better. She's pawing at her crotch. She's really focused on this one guy. Letting him motorboat.
Oh, jeez.
And then wait.
Everyone gets to play.
Gets on his lap. Lets him really cop a fine feel.
Yeah.
Everyone's having a great time. The music is bumping.
Honor your elders.
Well, first off, how many of these guys are going to have a stroke trying to beat their meat, after lunch?
They might not make
one.
it out of their room.
That's right.
And number two, the real... This is fine, but it's the sort of middle-aged nursing staff that's in trouble because when they come in to change the bedpan half hour later, and this guy's got a head of steam, you know what I mean?
You're right.
Shit's going to go down. You got to think about
God
that.
bless them.
God bless
and the
them.
spokesperson didn't. The spokesperson didn't say we're sorry. They said she came to entertain. I'm pretty sure she did.
Yeah.
So good for them.
It's a win.
Should we bring it home?
Yeah.
I'm Gina Grad, and that's the news.
Gina Grad. That was the news with Gina Grad.
We're going to San Diego, October 28th, 29th, in the Mic Drop comedy over there, and lots of live shows. St. Louis, Tucson, Tempe. Just go to AdamCarolla.com and check out my new book, Everything Reminds Me of Something. Enjoy that. Grab it on Amazon. Mr. Lister is the show, Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern on Spotify Live. And, of course, the podcast, Extra Points with Cousin Sound, Dave Dameshek, available wherever you listen to finer podcasts, and -3 with our old buddy Hench as well. So, until next time, it's Adam Carolla for Dave Dameshek and Gina Grad and Bald Brian. Say it. Mahalo.